Welcome back to another Let's Play here on HOI4 with Dave. David, your host of the Real Partners in Crime 2. We are playing still as the Philippines. Home, you know. Yeah, so, gotta represent. Gotta represent the Philippines. And we'll eventually do a U.S. as well. Gotta represent, you know, where I'm from, where I live. And then we'll do the little, you know, little factions every now and then, you know. We'll probably focus on the allies first before we really delve in there. But without further ado, remember to like, subscribe, helps us continue videos content and improve on quality content over time. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on in here. I'm gonna press play again. We are 1937, so I do suspect the Spaniards will probably break off there eventually, because that's how it normally always runs, and that's what helps out. Cause that's what helps out the national Spain. As long as Castile Spain, or whatever they call themselves, doesn't happen, Spain should become national Spain. That's how it always usually plays out. But it can flip-flop and be weird. But it's set on historical accuracy, so that's how it should play out, from what I remember. And then pretty soon, Japan should be going to war with the Chinese. So I expect that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and press play again. Woo! Alright. Woo! Yes, there I go. What I tell you? The Regional Defense Council of Aragon declared war on Spain. Woo! The Regional Defense Council declared war on national Spain. See, that's why they're so stupid. Because they're at war with both factions, right? So, but what happens is these guys wind up kicking their ass, and it winds up fucking with you know, the Republic Spain, you know, the Communist Spain, because now they just lost a good portion of their troops and a good portion of their territory, which means that they're about to get fucked. The only way this would be a weird war is if national Spain had Castile Spain come out of nowhere. That'd be the only weird way, but we're playing on historical accuracy, so this is how it really winds up playing out. Alright. Anarchist uprising and Spanish Civil War. Woo! Continued government attempts at reasserting centralized control over the mostly independent 19 communes in northeastern Spain, as well as the Stalinist repression of dissidents' communist viewpoints, has now led to a full-blown infighting in the Republican front. Initially limited to the street fighting and low-scale clashes between militias and government or Stalin forces, the unwillingness for either side to compromise has meant the conflict has rapidly escalated into just a few days. The reallocation of military resources to deal with this internal threat means the front lines against the nationalists have been noticeably weakened. The Republicans hardly need outside assistance to lose. Alright. France and Britain announced alliance, calling upon the bonds forged during the Great War. France has requested a formal alliance with Britain, citing unspecified threats against the stability of Europe. Today, their request was approved by the British Parliament, and France has joined the Allies. They are prepared for the worst. Let's go ahead here and get this guy on with him. And he is actually going to go somewhere else. This guy is going to go protect Pangasinan. He is going to go over there. Woo! Alright, positive. Alright, so Now we have a division in Pangasinan and a division in Central Manila. Woo! Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and arm ourselves a little more here. Get a free thing here going on. We are gonna go ahead here and we are going to probably go ahead and get rid of that one because we got enough fighters for now. Well, we'll probably let it build up just in case, you know. Alright. We'll go ahead and build us up some of our infantry equipment going on there. For now. Righto. Alright. Alright. So I'm going to check on this guy. So he did go down when he got the new guy in there, which is fine by me. Alright. Woo there! Alright. The Gangshis clique joins the Chinese United Front. Woo! Early today, China and the Gangshis clique issued a joint statement that later has now been formally granted member status of the Chinese United Front. Whether these partnerships will be used for offensive or defensive purposes remain to be seen, but undoubtedly, extensive joint military planning is already underway. They seek the strength in numbers. The Chinese United Front forms. Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong have issued a joint announcement declaring that they have set aside their differences in the face of Japanese attack. Both sides will observe a strict policy of non-aggression against each other for as long as the war against Japan lasts. And have vowed to do everything in their power to throw back the invader. A number of smaller warlords have also declared their support, putting their forces under the command of Chiang Kai-shek. Whether the longtime enemies of the Chinese Civil War will actually work together remains to be seen. And many experts believe that this will do little more than delay the inevitable defeat of China. An unstable alliance it is. The Hindenburg disaster. The German passenger airship Hindenburg was destroyed today while attempting to dock at the Lakehurst Naval Air Station in the United States. For reasons not yet determined, the airship was engulfed in flames and crashed to the ground, claiming 35 lives. Due to the scarcity and expense of helium and the U.S. ban on exporting it, the Hindenburg, like all German passenger airships, was ultimately engineered to use hydrogen, which provides greater lift, but is also flammable. With public faith shaken by this disaster, the rise of much fast passenger aircraft, this could spell the end of the era of airships. Oh, the humanity. Since we have another one ready and available, we're going to put that on our support equipment. Alright guys, let's go ahead and add another unit. Why not, in my opinion. Alright. So we need to be ready for when the Japanese attack. And they will eventually come down towards us to attack. Right now the Japanese haven't even declared war yet. Kind of surprised Chinese United Front starting to pull together. It's kind of amazing, in other words. As you can see here, if I can pull it up here. Factions. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting seeing how they are forming already. So, yes. Indeed. Now, we have another person amongst the faction here. Oh, snap. Radio detection is there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move this man up to the far north, where he will protect that. A naval invasion. Alright, we will go ahead here and throw that in there. We don't really need it though, do we? Because we don't really have a navy yet. So yeah. I guess we'll go ahead and work on building a radar station. Why not? To help our little Air Force out, because we do want an Air Force eventually. We want to try to build an Air Force to help prevent the Japanese from really gaining a stronghold in the area. Alright. Oh, snap! Amelia Earhart disappears. The famous aviator Amelia Earhart, the first woman to complete the solo flight across the Atlantic, has disappeared along with her navigator, Fred Noonan. Near Holland Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the two were attempting to fly around the entire world in their twin-engine Lockheed Electra plane when they vanished. A search for this missing aviators is now being conducted by the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard, but there is little hope of finding them. A loss for aviation. Alright, Japan has declared war on the Chinese. Oh no! Leadership purges in the Soviet Union. Uncertainty has long reigned in the Soviet Union while details are scarce. There have been a series of secret trials of the highest levels, and both generals and ministers have disappeared from the public eye. The natural assumption is that some great conspiracy has been uncovered within the Communist Party, but no official statement has been made. In addition to the diplomatic reports we have access to, indicates that evidence presented at these trials have been far from indisputable. Whatever has been happening, the structure of the Soviet High Command has changed irrevocably. Okay. Soviet Command has suffered greatly. Our armament efforts are good to go. Alright, we will go ahead and start working on that infrastructure effort there. Shall we? U.S. Congress passes Neutrality Act. With tension rising around the globe, the U.S. Congress has been the scene of intense discussion about the role the United States should play on the world stage. Many members are concerned that President Franklin Delano Roosevelt might secretly be planning to intervene in the European or Asian War. Some still remember the role the country played in the Great War and are anxious to keep the United States out of foreign entanglements. Eager to shore up support for his proposed programs of economic reform, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt has signed the Neutrality Act into law, which places heavy restrictions on trade to nations at war and specifically prohibits the President from offering any kind of support to other nations. Ask the Belgians how well the neutrality defined them in 1914. Alright. It looks like we're pretty much good to go there. We'll add another unit there. And we'll start slowly but surely moving them to Mindanao, to actually connect to Mindanao. Here. Alright. It's interesting they don't really actually show unique provinces there of Zulu or whatnot, but whatever. Zulu Peninsula. Alright. Woo! The Marco Polo Bridge incident. Japanese and Chinese forces have skirmished conclusively over the strategic Marco Polo Bridge located just south of Beijing. China has rejected Japan's demands for an apology and territorial concessions, claiming instead that the breaking point of Japanese aggression has been reached. Diplomats fear that the volatile situation could result in a war at any time. Well, it already has. So, yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and start expecting that the Japanese will be attacking the Chinese for a while. and entrenched in that war. Now, I have not seen anything in regards to the Spanish yet. Oh, well, they're kind of still in war. Looks like the Republic of Spain is starting to find the news. And it also looks like they're going to definitely lose eventually. They're starting to slowly lose. But it is what it is. Alright, Ji San Ma joins the Chinese Inner Front early today. Well, you should join statement that blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's the same thing. The war escalates. Alright, guys. Now then, back to the home front of Luzon. Woo! The Chinese joined the Chinese front. Japan declares war on Shanxi. Woo! Well, snap. It's already been time. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Remember to give that like, subscribe, helps continue to produce content, improve quality content over time. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Alright, bye guys!